Welcome, everybody, yet another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're enjoying your day, sweet. If not, what the hell ever. We've got an unplanned episode here, folks, because at the time of this recording, it has recently been announced that John Cena, by the end of 2025, will be fully retired from professional wrestling in terms of an in-ring standpoint. So, I thought what I would do is to go through a list of what I feel are the 25 best John Cena matches. Now, I have put some rules, a couple of little rules here. There will be no U.S. Open Challenge matches, because that's a ton of matches that I feel like would completely fill up this list. I wanted to go other ones, like, it's going to be mostly like pay-per-views. There'll be some, like, Raw's matches in here and everything. But I wanted to do stuff outside the U.S. Open Challenge because I didn't want it flooding the list. And also, when it comes to singles matches, I've limited to only 2 singles matches at most, per opponent. So you're not going to see like every match that he had against CM Punk on the list. Now, I've also got some honorable mentions, which I will get to in just a moment. But there are matches that I've completely excluded or maybe put in honorable mentions if I don't agree with the storyline build and or the match finish. So you're not going to hear me clamor about SummerSlam 2010 main event because we know that match finish was terrible. Or even the triple threat from Survivor Series 2009 because there was more focus about the whole thing with DX and Hornswoggle than it was with the whole WWE Championship. So, let me get the honorable mentions out of the way. I got 5 matches that are not on this list, but I will give some recognition to in a way. The Fatal 4-Way from Backlash 2007, John Cena, Edge, Randy Orton, and Shawn Michaels. I feel it's one of the best Fatal 4-Ways in WWE history, but my personal issue is I did not agree with how the finish was executed, to where Cena essentially won the match because of pure, accident right there on Shawn Michaels' part. Which is like, if it's one of those retain your championship by the skin of your teeth almost kind of feels like that kind of finish, you would expect that more for a heel to sneak away with the win. The SummerSlam 2014 squash match with Brock, it's like, I wanted more of a competitive match here, but I mean, I will say it's the best squash match in WWE history, but it's not on the list. I got a different Brock match in here. The tag match from Survivor Series 2014, while that was an awesome match, and Sting debut, the match stipulation also was pointless because the Authority was back in power a month later, despite this whole match rule and everything, so that kind of fell watered down. The Firefly Funhouse match from WrestleMania 36, I think there's some dispute as to whether or not this was a match or not, but I thought I would still give it recognition. And the match between Cena and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam 2015, kind of pegged down a little bit just because of the whole finish with Rod Stewart, and then you hear his motive behind getting involved and bringing the chair in. So, I kind of excluded it there. So you heard the 5 honorable mentions, and now we should go through the big list. 25 matches that I feel are John Cena's best in WWE. First of all, gotta give instant recognition to one of the greatest matches in WWE history, a 5-star classic, Money in the Bank 2011 against CM Punk. Fantastic build, which has also had real-life elements brought into it involving CM Punk's uncertain future, the stake of the WWE Championship possibly leaving the company, the whole thing with them trying to recreate the Montreal Screwjob in order to ensure that the championship stays, Cena wanting to do things the right way and it ultimately cost him, Punk walks out the new champion, an electric match from start to finish, one of the best matches that they've done in WWE history. If memory serves me right, I believe Dave Meltzer gave it a 5-star rating, which was the first time since the Hell in a Cell debut at Bad Blood in 97 that we saw a 5-star match rating be given to a WWE match. Surprising to hear from a guy who's got a floor that's more disorganized than mine. Alright, second one. TLC match against Edge from Unforgiven 2006. I love this match. Big match stipulation had been built because Cena and Edge had been feuding a little bit on and off since January, ever since Edge cashed in Money in the Bank on Cena. Cena won it back at Royal Rumble. They split apart. Then you had the whole thing of Edge sneaking away with the WWE Championship in a triple threat several months later with also RVD. The dusty finish at Saturday Night's Main Event. Edge cheating to retain the championship at SummerSlam. Then you had this big match at Unforgiven TLC match for Edge's WWE Championship. If this is Cena's last chance, because if he loses, he's going to SmackDown. And even though this was Cena's first TLC match, I still feel this was a fantastic match. The only botch that they had was the whole thing where Cena was trying to be given a sunset flip powerbomb out of the corner through a table. They mistimed it, where Cena grabbing the rope and stuff. But they recovered by power slamming him through the table. but fantastic uses of weapons. The drama was there. Even though the fans were still pro Edge during all this, because of course they were in Toronto, it was still absolutely fantastic and everything like that. And that match finished both men on the ladder. The big old thank you to Edge, driving him through 2 tables right next to the ladder, which referees were holding up to make sure it didn't tip over. And Cena wins by pulling out the championship, so stayed on Raw. So, like, probably Cena's first 5-star match that I would personally give by that point in his career. Now, number 3, another 5-star classic. April 23rd, 2007 Raw. The London Marathon match against Shawn Michaels. Possibly the greatest match in Raw history. Again, people might have some disputes, like saying this match or that. To me, this is the best match in Raw history. Unbelievable match. This being the WrestleMania rematch. Incredible non-title match. Like, freaking went, like, I think half the show total, based on the runtime. At the end, Shawn gets whipped to the corner, does that whole corner flip, bounces out. Cena goes for the fuck you. Shawn just lands on his feet, rebounds out of the corner, sweet chin music, boom, winner. Mind-blowing match. Like, to me, I will still say this is the greatest match in Raw history, hands down. Now, the only other Raw match that is on this list, the match against CM Punk, the only other Punk match that will be on this list, because like I said, I want to limit it to 2 matches of singles matches against specific opponents throughout the list. The match against Punk, February 25th, 2013, big stipulation here, where John Cena's title win that he earned from winning the Royal Rumble was on the line. So either Cena gets the redemption match against The Rock at WrestleMania 29, or Punk gets it to finally get his main event wish. Overall, incredible match. Even Punk pulling off a pile driver, which was banned in the WWE by this point, and he got heat for it backstage. But then Cena, he still managed to pull through the Cena Can't-Rana, as we all like to call it. Then big ol' thank you, boom. Cena wins, retains his title shot, and goes on to WrestleMania 29 against The Rock. But then Punk was still going to steal the show with The Undertaker, but still, almost a 5-star classic match, probably like 4 3/4 is probably an easily chosen match rating there. Still, also one of the greatest matches in Raw history, bar none. Number 5, and also this is no particular order, Royal Rumble 2017 against AJ Styles. Cena, the 15-time champion at the time, versus AJ Styles, who had been champion since No Mercy, I believe. No, sorry, Backlash 2017, or 16. Years. Fantastic, unbelievable match, and I know Cena talked about with documentaries of his, like, matches and everything, the insights, saying that we see with the Royal Rumble, everybody's getting flung out of the ring, going off the top rope and all that stuff. Let's keep the match in the ring while we can. So instead of fighting out on the floor, incredible back and forth match. Took 4 deliveries of the thank you to AJ, including the new one that he did, where he caught him while he was getting ready to try to do a springboard for the phenomenal forearm. Caught him, fuck you in the ring, grabbed him on the sides, rolled through, and gave him a second one in a row to keep AJ Styles down and win his 16th WWE/World Championship. Unbelievable match. Unbelievable. Bar none. All right, number 6. Now, this is the match that I feel like the match that he had against Triple H at WrestleMania 22 is what solidified him as the top guy. But this match, I think, helped solidify him as a credible main eventer. Judgment Day 2005 against JBL, the I Quit match. One of the bloodiest matches in WWE history. And what began Cena's long streak of never losing an I Quit match. Cena, he got busted open after getting, I think it was like a chair shot to the head and holding his head like, blood all over the place. JBL just torturing Cena, trying to choke him with chains. Like, we got steel steps getting into play and all that. And Cena, he's bleeding like he got freaking shot in the head or something. Then JBL, he got busted open after getting thrown through a head first. It was like through a TV or a monitor or something over by the staging or the entrance area. Cena, he's dismantling, like, grabbing pipes and everything to try to wreck JBL's limo. And then JBL's like, I quit. Shit, John, I quit. Michael. And Cena's like, alright, I win, and still hit JBL afterwards. But one of the bloodiest matches out there, and it was also one of the last times we would see the WWE's Undisputed Championship belt design. I know we saw it one more time after Unforgiven later that year for a brief moment, but this, I definitely feel, solidified Cena as a main event guy. Bloodbath, tough match and everything. Freaking great. Number 7, one of the 2 Randy Orton matches that you will see here. I know this match is kind of polarizing. I've seen people shit on it. But I still feel it's actually a great match. There anything goes 60-minute Iron Man match at Bragging Rights 2009. The match where Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred. It was also the other match that had the stipulation that if Cena lost, he's gone from Raw for good. So, Randy Orton's WWE Championship versus Cena's future on Raw on the line. Cena wins by 1 point, and this was the match where Randy Orton tried to blow up Cena while he was laying on the stage area. Randy's by the pyrotechnics is making like Dee from Dexter's Laboratory saying, "What does this button do?" Slap, 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 explosion, but Cena getting out of the way and shit. But I mean, Cena wins by 1 point within like the last 10 seconds to finally win this match and end this feud, at least this portion of it, compared to what we see a few years later. But I mean, I feel like this match doesn't quite get the credit that it deserves. I mean, it was better than their match at Royal Rumble 2014 by a long shot. Better than their Hell in a Cell matches, too. Number 8, a match that I never hear anybody talk about. The only thing people probably remember is the promo spoken afterwards because of the date involved, but the Triple Threat Steel Cage match. The Miz, John Morrison, and John Cena, Extreme Rules 2011. The Miz had just retained the championship against John Cena in the match where he got a concussion at WrestleMania 27. Cena gets a rematch, and John Morrison, he got his way in because originally R-Truth was going to be in the match instead of Morrison, but then Morrison won the match, or won R-Truth's title shot. R-Truth turned heel and everything, and this is also when John Morrison was in the doghouse because of his interaction with Trish Stratus at WrestleMania. You probably remember that. But this Triple Threat was actually a great steel cage match. I think The Miz even took like a double team suplex off the top of the cage into the ring, which was a big surprising bump. But at the end, Cena wins after a massive freaking F you or fuck you to The Miz, dropping him in the canvas, and Cena wins the championship again. And then, of course, as mentioned post-match, the promo where he announces that Osama bin Laden's gone. Yay! But yeah, this was a great Triple Threat Steel Cage match. Really enjoyed it. Number 9, one of my favorite matches, and I still feel like this is the one match that, to me, was better than Punk Brock on this night. SummerSlam 2013 against Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan had been on a roller coaster of momentum in terms of like the fans' perspective and popularity. And Cena, after retaining the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank against Mark Henry, following the whole fake retirement angle, then GM of Raw, Brad Maddox, decided, hey, John Cena, you can choose your opponent at SummerSlam. So then Cena, at the end of that same episode of Raw, had everybody on the stage area, and he's asking, oh, should I face Randy Orton? Should I face the Great Khali? How about Sheamus? No? It's like, oh, am I forgetting anybody? And crowd's chanting, yes, yes, yes. Then he chooses Daniel Bryan. Fans love it. Get the big one-on-one match. The build was also awesome, like, especially with that rare, good, like, Miz TV segment where they had the face-to-face confrontation. Really damn good. And Cena was going into this with a torn tricep. Like, I think it was his right arm, I believe, had that one. But despite that, he still had the whole match. Incredible match back and forth with a clean finish where Daniel Bryan debuted that running knee, which he never gave a name for, like, for customization. And surprisingly pinned Cena in the middle of the ring with Triple H as the referee. New WWE champion. Incredible match. I fucking love this match. Hands down. Then afterwards, Cena shook his hand. And this was like the last time these two would go one-on-one. I know they had matched like against each other 10 years prior, like on Velocity. But I mean, these two would never have a singles match against each other again, which is a shame. I mean, like, these two did fantastically against each other. And then we remember post-match, Randy Orton cashed in the Money in the Bank, Triple H turned heel, that whole shebang. Number 10. Speaking of Shawn Michaels from earlier, I also love their WrestleMania 23 encounter, that main event of the big show, showcased the Immortals. The match that originally started with the fan jumping in the ring and stripping. Like, yeah, WrestleMania! You don't see it on the network anymore. But this was an awesome fucking match. And this also had the rarity of a pile driver. Because the pile driver had been banned from WWE since like 2000-ish, somewhere in there. And Shawn Michaels managed to get permission to pull off a pile driver to Cena on the steel steps outside the ring. Which is like, I know he did it also in the Hell in a Cell match against Undertaker back in 97. But it's just like, to see a pile driver get pulled off at a point like this was a pretty big surprise. Like I said, the match was absolutely awesome. I would probably prefer this just a bit more than Undertaker Batista on the show, just by a little bit. Still an unbelievable match, and Cena, for the second year in a row, closed WrestleMania as the WWE Champion with a submission victory. Year prior, he made Triple H tap out. This time, he beat Shawn Michaels. So again, another fantastic fucking match. Number 11. Royal Rumble 2007 against the Samoan Bulldozer Umaga, last man standing. Cena ended Umaga's undefeated streak by shockingly pinning him the prior pay-per-view in New Year's Revolution with a roll-up. Yay. So we have the rematch here, last man standing, and I think it was either for real or kayfabe that Cena had like an injured spleen. Still had the match, Cena was bloody, taking it to Umaga, like you had destroyed announce table, steel steps getting thrown around, and Cena, who you took Alejandro Estrada's strategy against him by taking the busted off ropes and wrapping them around Umaga's throat, choking him out with the custom STF to make him black out and win this last man standing match to close this feud. Great, brutal, physical match. Possibly Umaga's best match in WWE. And again, rest in peace to Umaga. But I mean, this was a damn good freaking last man standing match. Really recommend it. Number 12, the only other match involving Edge that I will have any one-on-one capacity here. The last man standing match also now, but this time at Backlash 2009, which was controlling the fate of where the World Heavyweight Championship was in terms of brands, as I mentioned in the History of the Big Old Belt episode. Both men, I think this was the match where you had the Cutting Edge segment where Edge was saying that he hates Cena, he hates everything about him, he hates his shirt, everything he stands for, his hat, his wristbands. It's like, okay, you don't like anything about him. I hate the way you dress. I hate your face. I hate your voice. I hate that you can't fuck. You know, probably stuff like that. But I mean, these two tore the house down for a main event at Backlash, and this was one of the best overall Backlashes that we had seen in terms of like an overall quality show, and that finish, holy shit. So Cena looked like he was getting ready to give the fuck you to Edge, but instead here comes the Big Show, grabs Cena by the throat, and chokeslams him through a gigantic spotlight there by the ring stage. Broken glass, explosion, Cena can't stand up, and Edge walks away the new World Heavyweight Champion and bringing the belt back over to SmackDown brand. And that, of course, will lead to one of the many, once again, restarting the Cena Big Show feud that I don't think fans are really clamoring for. But, I mean, this was still another great last man standing match. Love it. Number 13, one of probably the earliest match that I have here from what I really liked from John Cena, his match at Vengeance 2003 against The Undertaker. Because it was noted, like, from the video package with history that The Undertaker and Cena had that one-on-one confrontation backstage after Cena's debut match against Kurt Angle, shaking hands, being like, good job out there, kid. Bong. And all that other stuff. You fast forward a year, now Cena's a heel, Undertaker's babyface was the opposite way the year prior. And Cena, he was being disrespectful and everything, like, talking shit about Orlando Jordan and The Undertaker and everything, and Undertaker wanted to show, like, beat some respect into Cena. Cena, he had the promo before the match saying, like, Undertaker, you're just a sucker, and y'all are stupid mother, and, you know, all that other stuff on the microphone and shit. Really damn good match, back and forth. I know they also had some other matches on SmackDown and everything, but, I mean, this one, like, if the finish felt a little similar to what we saw for WrestleMania 17 for Undertaker Triple H, where it's just, like, pounding in the corner, looking at the crowd, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, last ride, boom, bitch. But, I mean, this was probably, like, one of the other first big matches that John Cena had, at least in a pay-per-view sense, that was actually notable. I mean, I know there was all, like, people also praise his debut match, and that also deserves praise, but in terms of, like, a story match, like, with build and everything, instead of just something impromptu-ish, I really like this match. Number 14. Now, I know this is a little bit controversial, because of how it ended. His match against Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules 2012. So Brock had just come back the night after WrestleMania after Cena got his ass kicked by The Rock. And all of a sudden, Brock comes out, first time in 8 years, gigantic reaction from the crowd, and these two started scrapping like in Raws and everything, including Cena getting busted open in the face after he slapped Brock in his contract signings and everything, and it was going to be essentially an Extreme Rules-ish match, even though they didn't really use many weapons. But this is one of the most physical matches in WWE history that they had right there, or maybe at least up to this point. Like, blood gushing everywhere, chains, steel, like, referees getting bumped and thrown around, steel steps and everything. And Cena, after clocking Brock in the head with the steel chain wrapped around his fist, gave the fuck you to Brock onto these steel steps to get the win. Now, I know people say it's controversial. At least you can say with Brock, it took steel steps, like, combined with Cena's finisher to put him away. And people are going to debate whether or not it was right for Brock to lose. Maybe it was, like, recommended that he lose as a way to give back to the company, kind of because of the bad blood that was caused by his abrupt departure 8 years ago. Maybe as a way of giving back and doing business. Maybe, we don't know. But I mean, it was still a great match, even with that finish, because like I said, at least it took steel steps to put Brock away to still keep him strong. It wasn't like a fluke out of nowhere, roll-up type finish type thing. Number 15, a match that I don't think a lot of people really truly remember, because we remember the follow-up match in 2010. The match against Batista at SummerSlam 2008. These two had never gone one-on-one against each other on the main roster, to my knowledge. And it was decided by then GM Mike Adamle, you two are going to go one-on-one at SummerSlam, a dream match. The two guys that became world champion for the very first time at the exact same night 3 years prior, WrestleMania 21. And they tried throwing a bit of a twist here, making them temporarily World Tag Team Champions together by dethroning Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. of Legacy. But I mean, these two torn down against each other. Like, physical match, really damn good chemistry together. But we mostly remember one big incident here, where Cena, it looked like he was trying to do that top rope leg drop bulldog off the top there. But he gets caught by Batista in midair with the Batista bomb, the move that ended up herniating a disc in John Cena's neck upon the landing. And despite that, Cena still kicked out. You could see him trying to fight and get feeling back in his arm, like, and everything because of the impact. But then Batista dropped him one more Batista bomb, boom, that's over. I mean, I also, so, even though, like, maybe that could have been the finish, but I mean, you gotta give props to Cena for at least trying to get back into it and keep going despite this legitimate injury that he suffered. And he would be on the shelf for 3 months, but to even still finish the match despite that sudden herniated disc, props there. Number 16, I know some people might be a little polarized on this. The WrestleMania 28 encounter between The Rock and Cena. No, 29 will not be on here, I promise. But I mean, the 28 encounter, I feel was great. Even though it wasn't once in a lifetime, unless it wasn't a lifetime for anybody who didn't live long enough to see the rematch, then it was once in their lifetime. So, maybe partial truth to the tagline. But I mean, the build to this was fantastic. 1 year of build time with promos and shots taken back and forth. Both men laying hands on each other, like Cena giving the fuck you to The Rock before WrestleMania 27. The Rock retaliating WrestleMania by costing him the match against The Miz. Even had The Rock bottom after the tag match at Survivor Series 2011. These two, I felt, actually did a really damn good job together for this match. Electrifying, and Cena made the mistake trying to do trying to do his own people's elbow to The Rock. Gets caught, Rock bottom, and The Rock wins clean as a whistle in the middle of the ring. Back during the time where Cena didn't really lose cleanly often. So to see him lose cleanly, it's actually a big surprise. Even though The Rock was also a big guy, still, to see Cena by that point in his career lose cleanly was a shocker. And then, of course, he would use that finish to not make the same mistake twice next year, but let's not remember that match. Let's try not to. Number 17. One that was really damn good. One of the most vocally hot crowds for a main event. His match against Rob Van Dam. One Night Stand 2006. So Van Dam became Mr. Money in the Bank of WrestleMania 22. And in the build to One Night Stand, he temporarily held the Intercontinental Championship with Mr. Money in the Money in the Bank contract by defeating Shelton Benjamin at Backlash, lost it back in a tag. Then Van Dam decides, hey, I'm going to cash in my contract on you. It's announced that it's going to happen at One Night Stand. So, even though this was only the second ever Money in the Bank contract holder there, it became the first time that somebody announced when they're going to have their match cashed in, be effective at. So, became Extreme Rules, one-on-one, and it was also announced that if Van Dam becomes WWE Champion, it's also, when the rebirth of ECW happens, that he's going to be christened the ECW Champion. But I mean, this match was also great enough to the point where it became one of the matches in John Cena's 2K Showcase mode. It was 2K22 or 23, whichever one it was. These two had a damn good, great match. It's the fans just going nuts before the match with throwing Cena's shirt and everything. The sign saying, if Cena wins, we riot. It was just a great, hostile, hot-going match. Van Dam at the end, we saw Edge get involved, with the motorcycle helmet and the jacket, which seemed reminiscent to when Rick Rude had that same kind of attire when he was going back to ECW not too long before he passed away in '99. But then getting involved, spearing Cena through the table, Van Dam off the top, frog splash, Heyman coming down because the referee was out, count the pin, new WWE Champion. And yeah, the title run did not last long because of legal problems that would end up happening shortly thereafter. But I mean, the match, the build, the hostility from the crowd, legendary. Now, number 18. One of a few non-one-on-one matches that will be on this list, but one that I really do love here. the big tag team match of Team Angle versus Team Lesnar from Survivor Series 2003. So right before this, like, Cena was still heel a little bit before this, and Paul Heyman came down and offered Cena a spot on Team Lesnar. But Cena decided, nah, I don't want to be there, so he got beaten down by Team Lesnar, which would end up being Brock, Big Show, Nathan Jones, A-Train, and Matt Morgan. So then afterwards, Cena was now declared a babyface, and he ended up joining Team Angle after Farouk, Ron Simmons, was taken out of the match. So it was Hardcore Holly, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, JBL/Bradshaw at that point, and John Cena. The team was wondering, oh, can we trust Cena? Can he be here? Well, of course you can, because Cena would be the one of two men still left in the match, and he would end up getting the victory at the end by giving a gigantic fuck you to the Big Show to completely win the match. So Benoit and Cena would be the sole survivors. Great tag team match. In fact, that's what I also love about Survivor Series 2003. Neither tag match is disappointed. But I mean, a great match. The finish was surprising, because that was one of the big times where you saw Cena show his strength there. Like, we remember the fuck yous he gave to Big Show at WrestleMania 20. But here, it was actually surprising seeing that for the first time. Now, the other tag match I wanted to bring up that I feel people don't remember, the No Way Out 2007 tag match with Shawn Michaels against Batista and The Undertaker. This was around the time that they were stopping the whole brand exclusive pay-per-views and everything, especially after the December to Dismember debacle. The less I have to remember that pay-per-view, the better. But we had a big tag match where WrestleMania opponents were teaming up to go against each other to see if they could coincide. Great tag match. Really great. And at the end, we saw that Batista and Undertaker couldn't coexist because Batista cost their team the match by attacking The Undertaker. Not sure if you could declare that as a heel term, or maybe at least a slight one, but you never know. And at the end, John Cena and Shawn Michaels would get the victory here over Batista and The Undertaker. That team would end up getting their win back in a follow-up tag match on Raw when the opposite happened of Shawn turning on Cena. But I mean, still, this win at No Way Out 2007, a pretty forgettable pay-per-view. Gotta love that main event. Number 20. The only other, I was trying to choose between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam of 2016 for this one, but I had to go with SummerSlam because it had the clean finish. The other big match against AJ Styles. So this one was after AJ turned heel, aligned himself with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, because Money in the Bank, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows interfered in the match, with Cena and AJ. So we had the rematch here. Incredible match without any shenanigans whatsoever. AJ getting the clean victory one-on-one, clean in the middle of the ring. Like I said, no interference, no nonsense. And this would then end up leading up to AJ becoming WWE Champion shortly thereafter, because I think it was right after this was the brand split. He got drafted to SmackDown. And then, well, actually, before this it was the draft, because this was before SummerSlam. Went to part of SmackDown, WWE Champion. So this really kept his momentum going with an incredible match, clean finish and everything. Because like I said, everybody remembers the Royal Rumble match, but it kind of feels like SummerSlam's gotten a little bit forgotten. Because how many people still clamor about this match to this day? This, like they said, this match was absolutely classic. One of the best SummerSlam matches overall there, too. Now, one of the other two matches that I got on this list that's multi-man. Number 21, the Elimination Chamber match from New Year's Revolution 2006. Cena with his WWE Championship on the line against Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Carlito, Chris Masters, and Kane. And just before this, Cena was kind of weakened a little bit. He got the first blood match against Kurt Angle on Raw. The big brawls, you had the other storylines of who's going to be entering at what number, especially with Shawn Michaels and his feud with Vince. The match was great, especially with Cena having his first Elimination Chamber match, although he did make a little blunder, blading more than once during the match, because he bled, he got thrown into the chamber wall by Carlito and Chris Masters, bladed again. It was a little weird. And we saw Kurt Angle with, like a house of fire during all this, with German suplexes just tearing everybody down, because he's the wrestling machine, damn it. At the end, Carlito turned on Chris Masters at the end of the match. I mean, of course, every man for himself. After Masters had the Master Lock on Cena, Carlito got a low blow on Masters, rolled him up, eliminated him, and then Cena rebounded with a roll up on Carlito to retain the championship. Great match, bloody as hell, especially on Cena's part. And then, of course, we remember post-match, Money in the Bank, cash in, Edge new champion after 2 spears, boom. But I mean, still, a great outing here for his first Elimination Chamber match. Might be his best win out of all the Chamber matches that he's had. But I mean, I still love this Chamber match to this day. Number 22, the only other multi-man match here, the Triple Threat from Royal Rumble 2015. Sorry, there was my phone there all of a sudden making noise and all that stuff. But Royal Rumble 2015, triple threat against Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. So Cena, he had earned a shot to go one-on-one against Brock again after what happened with the finish in Night of Champions. He got a shot after defeating Seth Rollins in the tables match at TLC 2014, but then Rollins, because he helped make sure that the Authority got back in power, he got added to the match despite being Mr. Money in the Bank. But I mean, still, he got the title shot edition anyway. A rare bright point from this terrible show, because we remember what happened here that caused everybody to sour in WWE at that point. These three just went nuts against each other, and Brock even got taken out because he was on the Spanish announce table. Rollins jumped off the top rope, elbow drop to drive Brock through it, and then Rollins, in a rare point, actually hit the Phoenix Splash on Cena. Missed a slight bit, but still executed it regardless. But then Brock sprung back up and still retained the championship. Also, still probably regarded as one of the best triple threat matches in WWE history. Love this triple threat. Fantastic. Like I said, a bright spot to a terrible pay-per-view. Number 23, the only other match I put here again with Randy Orton, the SummerSlam 2007 match. No, I'm not going to go 2009 because that finish with the restarts and everything was just bad. But the SummerSlam 2007 match, I feel was actually great. Even if it went really long and Cena kind of no-sold the RKO to give the thank you afterwards. But I mean, Randy, he was on a tear after WrestleMania, and especially after Backlash with the ending of the Rated RKO team, just starting to revamp his Legend Killer gimmick, the punt kick, taking out the names like Shawn Michaels and Sergeant Slaughter, Dusty Rhodes, and all this other stuff. I don't think this was the point where he attacked Cena's dad just yet. I think this was the night after. But I mean, this was also another rare bright spot on a really poor pay-per-view. I mean, let's not forget, we have Batista, Great Khali on the show too. But I mean, a great main event, even if it went on for quite a while. Just a lot of Randy Orton matches due to the headlocks and boners and methodical pacing. But I mean, this is probably one of their other best matches that they had against each other, like I said, alongside their bragging rights match. I also still prefer this over their 2 Hell in a Cell matches against each other, especially in 2009. You might remember that. But I mean, yeah, I thought this was another great match here. And maybe we'll see them one-on-one one last time before Cena hangs up the boots. Or his Jordans or whatever shoes he wears. 24. A match that not a lot of people probably still think about, but was another great match here. The Great American Bash 2007 against Bobby Lashley. So after the big 5-way match that happened at Vengeance Night of Champions, Bobby Lashley became #1 contender to get a singles match against Cena for the WWE Championship. You had Cena trying to mock Lashley with the whole debate that they had with the podiums. I never learned to read, or whatever that stuff was. These two actually pulled off a really great match against each other. And Cena, he even pulled off a super thank you to Lashley. Cena got the win, and then after this, Bobby Lashley would be written off television because of shoulder issues, and then would be gone from the company, never be seen again. And it's a shame that I don't think these two have had a singles match against each other even when Lashley came back. I know they had some interactions, I know there was a tag match, in a match against Elias and Kevin Owens for an international show. But it's just it would have been nice to see these two go at it one more time. I felt like these two did a great job against each other. And now the last one, match that I thought was both great and fun, also against JBL, the Great American Bash 2008, the New York City parking lot brawl that they had against each other, where it started back, in the back, almost like an iron circle of cars, similar to what we saw, the one between Eddie and Cena on SmackDown in 2003, or even the Iron Circle one that you saw between Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman in 99. Both men just starting interacting with cars, jumper cables, bouncing off with horns and everything like that. So a lot of creativity going into this. And then especially at the end, holy shit. So Cena, he brings JBL out because JBL's in a car and Cena brings it up with a forklift. They have the car set right there off the stage area, and Cena, he's on the entrance ramp. Grabs JBL, get ready to give him a fuck you off the stage, but JBL gets off his shoulders and shoves Cena off the stage into the windshield of the nearby car, and then JBL pins him to get the win and also put an end to this 2008 feud. But I mean, this was and to see this be one of the last pay-per-view matches of the TV14 era. I was about to say PG-13, but that's a TV or a movie rating, not a TV show rating type thing here, but on the last TV14 pay-per-view overall, and I know Cena got a little bit cut up with his arm because of the landing in the windshield, but this was another great match here. And I'm kind of surprised we don't see matches of this kind, with this setting, with interacting with cars and backstage brawl, in this type of setting anymore. I mean, we can't even get in WWE video games unless you want to interact with, like, 3 cars and an ambulance. But I mean, it would be fun to see this kind of interactivity again. So yeah, folks, to me, that would be my list of the 25 best John Cena matches in his WWE career. If there are any that you feel also should give some recognition that either weren't in that 25 or even the 5 honorable mentions, please let me know in the comment section below what you would add to this or to this list for yourself. If you enjoyed today's episode, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe with the bell turned on if you're listening to this on YouTube, or follow if you're listening to this podcast on any other service that this podcast is available on, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.